Bron Breakker out of action after undergoing surgery, Triple H facing internal criticism over changing WrestleMania plans, AJ Styles' AEW status following WWE retirement, Chelsea Green's injury update after being pulled from AAA, Montez Ford shows off new look amid WWE absence, Liv Morgan shoots on online critics. Let's get started. Bron Breakker out of action after undergoing surgery. Bron Breakker's sudden disappearance from action now has a clear explanation, and it's more serious than it first appeared. According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Daily Update, Breakker recently underwent surgery for a serious hernia, with no timetable yet for his return. Meltzer didn't sugarcoat it either, saying simply that Breakker had surgery and there's no word on how long he'll be out. That revelation suddenly makes Breakker's final appearances hit very differently. His last physical moment came during the Men's Royal Rumble, where he entered at number 2 and was immediately taken out before even stepping into the ring, ambushed by a masked attacker strongly implied to be Seth Rollins. Despite the attack, Breakker still fought his way into the match, only to be eliminated by Obafemi, the number 1 entrant. The next night on Raw, things escalated fast. Breakker showed up furious, tearing apart ringside and aggressively confronting the commentary team. His meltdown got so intense that Adam Pearce stepped in and had him removed from the arena entirely. At the time, it looked like WWE was pushing an out-of-control angle. With surgery now confirmed, it's clear that moment was less storyline chaos and more WWE quietly writing Breakker off TV due to a real injury. The timing makes it even more interesting. Breakker was reportedly expected to win the Royal Rumble, but late WrestleMania changes forced WWE to pivot, ultimately leading to Roman Reigns winning instead and setting up a match with CM Punk at WrestleMania 42. Now sidelined with surgery and no return date announced, Breakker's absence is clearly more than temporary, and WWE had to change plans fast. We'll keep you updated as more details on his recovery emerge. Triple H facing internal criticism over changing WrestleMania plans. WrestleMania 42 isn't just dealing with expensive tickets or brutal travel costs, there's something deeper going on behind the curtain. And right now, the spotlight is squarely on Triple H. Behind the scenes, confidence is starting to crack. According to reports from Wrestling Observer Radio on February 9th, WWE officials are growing uneasy with how often WrestleMania plans have been shuffled, and much of that frustration is landing on Paul Levesque. The wild part? This is happening before fans even know what most of the card looks like. Dave Meltzer revealed that WWE actually had WrestleMania fully planned before the Royal Rumble. But once early ticket sales failed to hit internal projections, hesitation took over, and suddenly, everything changed. The card that was once locked, now it's wide open. That uncertainty has sparked internal criticism, with some comparing the situation to the old Vince McMahon era, where plans were constantly rewritten at the last second. WWE has a blueprint, scraps it, starts over, and repeats the cycle. What makes this reaction even stranger is that WWE is panicking over ticket sales without giving fans a reason to buy. There's no announced lineup to judge, no matches to get excited about. As of now, only one bout is considered locked in, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. That's it. Even rumored marquee matches aren't safe. Meltzer confirmed that something as big as Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre isn't guaranteed. Everything else is still floating. The logic doesn't add up. WWE isn't responding to a bad card, they're responding to no card at all. Meanwhile, Brian Alvarez pointed out the real elephant in the room: cost. WWE is trying to sell 50,000 to 60,000 seats per night in Las Vegas with sky-high ticket prices and hotel rates. Add in international fans saving their money for the World Cup, and suddenly the WrestleMania bubble doesn't look so bulletproof. Still, instead of focusing on the economy, pressure continues to build internally, directly affecting creative decisions. Plans are being second-guessed. Confidence is slipping. For a company that treats WrestleMania as untouchable, this is unfamiliar territory. Early ticket anxiety, internal doubt, creative instability, and at the center of it all is one question WWE may already be wrestling with: do they truly trust Triple H's vision, or are they starting to lose faith in it? Montez Ford shows off new look amid WWE absence. Montez Ford just stunned fans with a brand new look, and nobody saw it coming. A recently surfaced video shows Ford during his time away from WWE, and the transformation is impossible to miss. While he's been off regular programming, Ford hasn't just been resting, he's been rebuilding. The Street Profits have been noticeably absent for quite some time, and although there's still no official word on when Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins will return, one thing is already clear: Ford won't be coming back the same. Much like other stars who've used downtime to reinvent themselves, Ford appears to have followed a similar path, and it paid off. During his WWE hiatus, Ford quietly traded his trademark lean, high-flying frame for a noticeably bulked-up physique. Known as the slimmer half of the Street Profits, Ford now looks significantly more muscular, even matching Dawkins in size. The athleticism is still there, but now it's backed by serious mass. The change became public during a WWE NXT house show in Nashville, where Ford and Dawkins teamed up with Hank and Tank against Dark State. After the match, Ford drew attention to his new build in a very Ford-like way, joking with fans while struggling out of his gear and declaring, "I got my weight up." The crowd definitely noticed, with Bianca Belair sidelined for months due to injury and reports noting that this is the longest Ford and Belair have spent off the road since signing with WWE. The time away clearly wasn't wasted. There's still no timeline for the Street Profits' full-time return, but whenever Montez Ford steps back into the spotlight, fans should expect a different version of him, bigger, stronger, and possibly more dangerous than ever. AJ Styles' AEW status following WWE retirement. AJ Styles may have walked away from WWE, but the conversation around his future is far from over, and AEW is once again at the center of it. The wrestling world was stunned when Styles officially retired at Royal Rumble 2026, ending his legendary WWE run much sooner than most expected. While AJ had openly said 2026 would likely be his final year in the ring, few imagined it would conclude on that night. With his career on the line, the Phenomenal One stepped into a high-stakes showdown against Gunther. Styles delivered a gutsy, emotional performance, reminding everyone why he's one of the best to ever do it. But despite the fight, the match ended with AJ passing out in Gunther's sleeper hold, bringing his WWE career to a dramatic close. Since that moment, speculation has exploded about whether Styles is truly finished wrestling or simply finished with WWE. Reports have floated the idea of AJ making a surprise jump to AEW, fueling debates about one final chapter outside of Stamford. However, according to Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, AEW has been trying to sign AJ Styles for years, with no success. Meltzer notes that AEW began pursuing Styles as far back as 2019 and continued making offers even as the company grew under Tony Khan's leadership. Despite multiple approaches and clear interest, AJ repeatedly turned them down, remaining committed to WWE throughout his career. For now, AJ Styles' retirement remains official, but in a business where comebacks are never off the table, the question isn't whether AEW wants him, it's whether the Phenomenal One is truly done telling his story. Chelsea Green's injury update after sudden removal from AAA. What initially looked like a major red flag for Chelsea Green has now taken a sharp turn, and the panic may have been way overblown. When the February 7th episode of AAA on Fox aired, viewers immediately noticed Green appearing in a walking boot during a backstage FaceTime segment. The show confirmed she wasn't medically cleared to compete and couldn't defend the AAA mixed tag team titles with Ethan Page, forcing a sudden on-screen shift. Naturally, that visual alone sparked concerns about how serious the injury really was and whether this could turn into a long-term setback. But behind the scenes, the reality is far less dramatic. New details have emerged revealing that Green's injury is not a break or anything structurally damaging. The issue was described as a bruised ankle. Painful, yes, but nowhere near career-altering. While she did miss the AAA taping where the mixed tag team titles officially changed hands, the expectation is that her time away will be short and controlled. That clarification completely changes the conversation. Instead of speculation about months on the shelf or major plans being derailed, this is now viewed as a temporary speed bump. There's no indication of surgery, no lengthy rehab timeline, and no serious concern about her long-term availability. In short, Chelsea Green isn't facing a major setback, just a brief pause. What looked like a serious situation at first glance has now been reframed as a minor issue, and all signs point to her being back in action sooner rather than later. Liv Morgan shoots on online critics. Liv Morgan has heard the noise. She just doesn't care. During a recent appearance on Inside the Ring, the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble winner made it clear that online criticism doesn't register with her in the slightest. Not because she's unaware of it, but because it simply doesn't matter. Morgan explained that opinions only carry weight when they come from the people who actually impact her career. If you're not signing her checks, guiding her growth, or someone she's personally turning to for advice, your commentary doesn't factor into her mindset at all. Honestly, and I mean this, respectfully, I don't really care about your criticism. If you're not my boss, if you're not someone I'm asking critique for, if you're not my boss, I respectfully don't care about what you have to say or what your opinion is. Everyone is entitled to opinion. All opinions are welcome, but it doesn't affect me whether it's positive or negative, because I only care about what my bosses think. She acknowledged that everyone is entitled to their opinion. Fans can praise her, critics can tear her down. Either way, it doesn't change how she moves. None of it affects her confidence, her preparation, or her focus, because the only feedback she values comes from her bosses and trusted voices behind the scenes. For Liv Morgan, success isn't dictated by timelines, comment sections, or viral takes. It's measured by the people who matter most in the room, and if you're not one of them, your opinion stays exactly where it belongs, on the outside, looking in. That mindset has taken her to the top, and judging by her tone, she's not planning to let distractions slow her down anytime soon.